Sir, so hi, Afzal this side.
Yeah, sir.
Yeah, so just want to know at what level of extent we need to learn the programmability, like in comparison of software developer. So most the thing is that because most of people are having fear of programming, so that's why we move into the network jobs.
Mm,
So
mm.
again, the program is coming into this scenario. So up to what level means up to what percentage it is in comparison with software developer?
हिंदी में बोलते हैं दुखती नब्ज पे हाथ रखना अफजल. That is what you are doing. But that's so good, and this is what we need. We need to address those painful things. We need to talk about those painful topics, because if we won't talk about those, we are just in the denial mode, and we will have a hit. Okay, now to answer your question, that was a little bit philosophy. Now to answer your questions, प्रोग्रामिंग कितना सीखना है? लेट मी स्टार्ट विद दिस. हम लोगों में से एक बंदा बताओ जिसने वो वाले वीडियोस नहीं देखे जो बोलते हैं एआई आजकल सब कुछ करेगा.
राइट राइट सबने देखा है.
तो भाई मैं एक क्वेश्चन पूछना चाहता हूं आप लोगों से. एआई सब कुछ करेगा तो क्यों सीखना ऑटोमेशन और क्यों सीखनी है प्रोग्रामिंग? अफजल, आई एम slowly gradually coming to answer your question, right? मैं उसी तरफ जा रहा हूं by having my questions and by keeping it, making it plain and simple and connecting the today's hot topic in the market, right? So I am trying to make it clear to you. Pay attention, right, where we are going. Okay, so the question was क्यों सीखना है यार फिर? If AI is doing everything, then why? मैं आंसर करता हूं. I know it is a difficult question. I know it is a very, very difficult question. फ्लाई करते हैं हम सब लोग. हमें पता है पायलट्स के पास ऑटो फ्लाइट ऑप्शन है. अगर आपको ये पता है आपकी फ्लाइट में 2 पायलट बैठे हुए हैं, आप फ्लाई करोगे. भाई ऑटो पायलट है तो क्यों पायलट चाहिए? क्या ऐसी फ्लाइट में फ्लाई करोगे जिसमें पायलट ना हो? ऑटो पायलट है भाई, एआई है भाई. टेल मी who will do that? Who will fly in a plane that does not have a pilot? And tell me seriously. I think nobody. क्यों? ऑटो पायलट तो है, आज से नहीं है, बहुत टाइम से है. Now AI is bumping up, doing a lot of things. So what is happening is, what we need is, we are pushing more work towards machines. But who do we trust? We trust human. And in the world of
Autopilot
AI,
cannot think.
sorry, go ahead.
Autopilot cannot think.
Autopilot cannot see. Okay, yes, all those things. So in the world of AI, we have a term known as human in the loop. That is must. We want the heavy lifting to be done by machines, and we want human to be in the loop of the things when things are going towards production. हाँ, autopilot plane चला लेगा, but we need pilot to be there to see that things are happening correctly. And that is exactly what we need with AI. Programming आज के टाइम पे आप कराओगे AI से, आपको स्टार्टिंग से प्रोग्राम नहीं लिखना, लेकिन आपको उसे वैलिडेट करना है. लेट मी से दैट यू हैव ऑल ऑफ यू आर वर्किंग इन द प्रोडक्शन एनवायरनमेंट. आज मैं आपको एक स्क्रिप्ट दे देता हूं, वो आपको बोलता हूं कि अपना सारा नेटवर्क वाइप आउट करके ये वाली स्क्रिप्ट आपकी पूरा का पूरा नेटवर्क दोबारा खड़ा कर सकती है, एंड इट विल बी द सेफेस्ट नेटवर्क विद ऑल द हार्डनिंग डन, विद ऑल द best of the best features available in your environment. Will you execute it? No. क्यों?
No.
Right? No. क्यों? Because you don't know what is exactly happening behind the scenes. Now the thing is, now coming to the Afzal's question, right? क्या हमें सॉफ्टवेयर डेवलपर बनना है? नहीं, हम लोगों को उस लेवल की स्किल्स हम लोगों को एक्वायर करनी है कि हम एआई से जब लिखवाएं तो उसे पढ़ के समझ लें कि वो कर क्या रहा है. We have to move from doers to validators, and that's easy. आज से 5 साल पहले ऑटोमेशन करना बहुत मुश्किल था, because anybody, any network administrator, any network engineer who wants to automate has to read the code, has to learn how to write the code. आज के टाइम पे AI ने आके वो easy कर दिया है, because it writes the code for you, but the problem with you is that you cannot execute that code, because you cannot trust it. Now why you can't trust it? Because you cannot read it. What is it? And that's the level of expertise we have to reach, so that we can read it, we can understand it, what it is doing. If we want, we can modify it a bit, and then after we trust it, and then we run it. Afzal, does that answer your question?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
And any more questions, guys? All right, let's move to the next topic then. In that case, let us talk about, we have been talking about automation. लेकिन एनवायरनमेंट में देखें तो ऑटोमेशन के लिए तो हम लोगों के पास टूल्स हैं यार. Why to learn Python? Why to learn Ansible? Why to learn? There are plethora of tools, automation tools in the market. Why to learn those? Don't we have dashboards? We have dashboards. I understand it. Dashboards are not available in all the environments, but in most of the environments, some kind of dashboards are available. And those dashboards are providing automation possibilities. तो वहां डैशबोर्ड से क्यों नहीं सीखना? वो डैशबोर्ड को क्यों नहीं सीखना? Why to learn this? Any thoughts? Any thoughts? Anybody who wants to counter my statement, please feel free. I'll be more than happy to learn. Aruba मेरे पास यहाँ पे 3 डैशबोर्ड के एग्जांपल्स दिए हैं मैंने. Aruba Central, Cisco Meraki, Juniper Mist. There are lot more. I can have this slide filled to the brim by listing the dashboards which are available in the market. But these are the 3 major ones. अगर ये हैं तो फिर ऑटोमेशन क्यों सीखना भाई?
अभी तो सिस्को भी ऑटोमेशन के लिए मींस एसडी एक्सेस एसडी वैन जो आपके मल्टीपल सारे कॉन्फ़िगरेशन है जो ऑलरेडी कॉन्फ़िगरेशन इनबिल्ट है, बस उसको कॉन्फ़िगरेशन को पुश करना है जो आपका ऑलरेडी बना हुआ कॉन्फ़िगरेशन है,
राइट?
एसडी
और
एक्सेस
डैशबोर्ड से हो जाता है, राइट?
हाँ हाँ, एसीआई में भी उन्होंने कोर नेटवर्क के लिए से किया है.
Who is that speaking?
अपूर्व.
वेरी गुड. अपू, सो क्वेश्चन फॉर यू. तो फिर बताओ ऑटोमेशन सीखने क्यों आए हो आज, अगर हो जाता है उससे? तो
वो उससे मैनुअली आप मल्टीपल डिवाइस पे पुश कर सकते हो, बट वही तो एग्जैक्टली जानना है कि हम एआई में क्या नया सीखेंगे. ये तो ऑलरेडी एग्जिस्टिंग है.
एआई को तो अभी हम टच नहीं कर रहे, साइड रख दो अभी.
अंकुर जी,
हाँ.
मेरे ख्याल से
Right.
सभी कंपनियां, जैसे कि अब मेरे यहाँ पर है मल्टीपल ओईएम है. अब मैं अरूबा सेंटर नहीं ले सकता, सिस्को मेरा के तीनों चारों में क्यों लूं? तो हो सकता है कि मेरे जो मानना है कि मैं इसलिए ऑटोमेशन सीखना चाह रहा हूँ कि इन सबको मैं ऑटोमेट कर सकूं. खाली मैंने अरूबा सेंटर के भरोसे थोड़ा चलूंगा मैं.
Absolutely, that is one of the reason, and I summarize that reason as integration. There is a problem with the integration. I'll expand that more, right? What is that problem we are talking about? But exactly this thing is integration. And still I want to ask these questions, guys. You need to tell me more about it. क्यों नहीं यार, इसको ना firm करना पड़ेगा. We have to be very firm on our understanding.
जो मुझे समझ में आया आपकी इससे सर कि अगर ये जो ऑलरेडी मेक्ड है और मल्टीपल मतलब जो निप हमारी बनी हुई है या कॉन्फ़िगरेशन है, सो हम उसको पुश करते हैं तो माइट बी सम टाइम उसमें प्रॉब्लम आती है, तो ये आइडेंटिफाई करेगा, फिक्स करेगा और पहले बताएगा हमको विद इन अ मिनट, ना कि कुछ ज्यादा आउटेज के पहले. सो वी आर स्टडिंग दिस.
Yes and no. Yes and no. Right. It is not completely true, but it is not completely something which can be disregarded. Yes and no. True. Any more thoughts?
क्लाइंट के पास पूरा पावर रहता है कि वो कैसे डिजाइन करना चाहता है,
Very nice.
कस्टमाइज कर.
Very nice. Yes. Yes. Customization, flexibility, what you need, and you are not fitting yourself into the system. You are creating the system which fits into your need, right? So बहुत सिंपल सा एग्जांपल है, रेडीमेड कपड़े पहनते हैं और टेलर्ड कपड़े पहनते हैं, क्या फर्क होता है? जब हम रेडीमेड कपड़े पहनते हैं तो हम उसके अंदर अपने आप को फिट करते हैं, और जब हम टेलर्ड कपड़े पहनते हैं तो हम एक कपड़ा लेते हैं और टेलर उसको हमारी बॉडी के हिसाब से टेलर करके उस कपड़े को हमारी बॉडी के हिसाब से फिटिंग देता है. दैट्स द डिफरेंस. इट्स द रेडीमेड क्लोथिंग एंड द टेलर्ड क्लोथिंग. दैट्स द डिफरेंस. जब हम ये वाले डैशबोर्ड यूज कर रहे हैं, दैट इज वन ऑफ द रीजन देन वी आर फिटिंग इनटू समथिंग व्हिच OEM हैज क्रिएटेड बेस्ड अपॉन द फीडबैक एंड द नीड्स ऑफ thousands of organizations. It's generic. It's not something that you really need. आप हर जगह जाके अपने आप को फिट करने की कोशिश करते हो उसमें, लेकिन it is not as per your thought process, it is not as per your business needs. हाँ, किसी तरीके से एडजस्ट करके काम चला लेंगे वाली बात होती है. So that is definitely one thing. Second thing is integration. How many of these dashboards integrate by other systems available in the environment? Rather, how many of these dashboards integrate to each other? Barely any. अब बात ये आती है कि इंटीग्रेशन की जरूरत क्यों है भाई? ठीक है, नहीं करते. अगेन लेट्स गो फर्दर एंड लेट्स डीप डाइव, लेट्स थिंक मोर अबाउट इट. इंटीग्रेशन की बात करें, इंटीग्रेशन की जरूरत क्या है? इंटीग्रेशन की जरूरत मैं आपको समझाता हूं क्या है. आपके पास एक एनवायरनमेंट है. हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू मे हैव वर्कड विद वेरियस ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस, सम ऑफ यू मे नॉट हैव, सो दोस गाइस मे नॉट हैव सीन दैट, बट यस, बेस्ड अपॉन योर एक्सपीरियंस, हाउ मेनी ऑफ द एनवायरनमेंट आर प्योर वन वेंडर एनवायरनमेंट्स? एंड मैं आपको बताऊं, मेरा खुद का एनवायरनमेंट वन वेंडर एनवायरनमेंट है आज के टाइम पे. लेकिन ये बीट कहां होता है, कहां कहां पे बीट होता है? ये पहली चीज, वन वेंडर एनवायरनमेंट, देयर आर वेरी फ्यू कंपनीज हु हैव वन वेंडर एनवायरनमेंट एट द मोमेंट. और अगर हम सिस्को मिराकी खरीदें तो वो सिस्को मैनेज करता है, मेरा जुनिपर मैनेज नहीं हुआ, मेरा अरूबा मैनेज नहीं हुआ, मेरा हुआवे मैनेज नहीं हुआ उससे. हाउ विल यू मैनेज दैट? राइट. उसके बाद बात करें, अगर हमने अरूबा सेंट्रल खरीद लिया, वो मेरा अरूबा मैनेज कर रहा है, बाकी चीजों को मैनेज नहीं कर रहा. लेकिन if we go back to the question that how many companies do have the synchronized one vendor environment, there are very few. Or they are also, there is also a risk that they will not remain one vendor environment. Mergers होते हैं, acquisitions होते हैं. Mergers और acquisitions business करते हैं for business needs, not based upon IT input. IT is a facilitator. IT फैसिलिटेट करता है. जब एक बिजनेस एक्विजिशन करता है एक दूसरे बिजनेस की, वो आपके एनवायरनमेंट में सिस्को लगा हुआ है, सामने वाले एनवायरनमेंट में अरूबा लगा हुआ है, क्या कर लोगे? नाउ बिजनेस हैज टू डू दैट. बिजनेस हैज टू सर्वाइव. And we all are the people, you all are the people who have to provide solutions. Then your dashboard is stuck. Even if you have the beautiful dashboard, you have so powerful skills to manage the dashboard, you are stuck. Another thing, if there is a divestation, डाइवेस्टमेंट क्या होता है कि आपने कोई पार्ट सेल कर दिया. जब आपने कोई पार्ट सेल किया तो उसमें भी चीजें अटकती हैं बिजनेस की. कैसे अटकती हैं? यू आर सेलिंग एन एनवायरनमेंट, you are selling a site, your business is selling a site, and now the buyer is saying that you need to get off from these devices. That also becomes difficult. मेन पॉइंट होता है मर्जर एंड एक्विजिशंस. जब आपके पास कुछ आ रहा है, then you are not controlling that it has to be Aruba, only then I will onboard it. Yes, in future you can do that because your company policy says that this is our preferred partner and then we have to survive with it. दूसरी चीज आती है when you migrate. When you migrate, आपके कंपनी में Cisco अभी implemented है, and then your company decides that we have a better deal coming from Aruba, which are equally consistent and reliable devices. Now we are going to Aruba, and it is a massive saving that we can do. And now you have, for 2 to 3 years or at least 1.5 year, you are managing the environment which are distributed into 2 dashboards, and you cannot keep the security policies clean. उस टाइम पे क्या होता है, वो आपके 2 डैशबोर्ड्स में डिवाइड हो गया. सिक्योरिटी वाला सीजो आपके सर पे बैठा हुआ है दैट आई वांट सिक्योरिटी पॉलिसीज एज इट इज, आई डोंट केयर दैट हाउ मेनी एनवायरनमेंट्स, हाउ मेनी डैशबोर्ड्स you are maintaining. Then you have to go to something which is neutral. Another thing, I will talk more about the dashboards. Dashboards, What does those dashboards provide? As I said, dashboards are built by OEMs based upon the general feedback and the requirements they receive from the organizations, from their customers. I have been to many webinars, many events hosted by the OEMs, different OEMs, and they do it. They introduce their new products, they push their new products, and at the same time, they ask for feedback of their existing products so that they can improve. So their platform is always based upon that what their customers say, and that is their business model. They are doing the right thing. But वो क्या बना रहे हैं? वो बना रहे हैं एक minimalistic thing जिससे कस्टमर का एनवायरनमेंट चल जाए और उसके बाद कस्टमर को और कुछ चाहिए, then for that customer has to look to something else. Then dashboard is not a perfect thing. What you get in the dashboard is I call lowest common denominator. Lowest common denominator, what does that mean? कि एक ऐसा feature set जो generally सबके लिए applicable होगा, but you don't get anything beyond it. If you need something beyond it, then you have to have something outside the dashboard. I'll take the questions in few minutes. The next thing is स्केल फटीग. व्हाट इज स्केल फटीग? आपके डैशबोर्ड्स हैं, डैशबोर्ड्स को एक तरीके से डिजाइन कर दिया ओईएम ने. अब आपको वो डैशबोर्ड्स के अकॉर्डिंग, अब मैं ग्रुपिंग की बात करता हूँ, डिवाइस ग्रुपिंग होती है डैशबोर्ड्स में, बहुत अलग अलग तरीके से होती है, बहुत अलग अलग तरीके से आप ग्रुपिंग कर सकते हो. नाउ थिंक अबाउट इट दैट you are working for a customer which has got 500 sites across the globe, and the scenario is that across those 500 sites you have some specific, very specific type of device where you have to make a change. I am not saying that using the dashboard you cannot do it, but you have to create a new group, and probably by going to each site, selecting the device, then create a group. Make mistakes, guys, we are humans. And then you push it and you get blasted. Why to do that with dashboard? Why not you run a script that scans through the whole environment, pick the type of device based upon the scenario you defined, create a list, and then use what you want to push the change in those particular devices. And think about it, if you have to do it on daily basis, probably not on daily basis, even on weekly basis. At least I will hate that kind of job. So that's called scale fatigue, which dashboards generally do not handle. Integration. We spoke about integration. और हम लोगों ने जब integration की बात की थी अभी, probably 5 minutes back, we were talking about integration with other technical dashboards. That is just one part of it, guys. आपको आपके डैशबोर्ड के ऊपर एक अलर्ट आया, अगर वो अलर्ट से इंसिडेंट नहीं बना, मींस आपके ITSM टूल से वो इंटीग्रेटेड नहीं है, then what kind of automation we are talking about? If your dashboard is not connected to your HR system, so that if the ID is disabled, the ID is disabled in your system as well. If the ID is created, then the ID is created in your system as well. Then what kind of onboarding, offboarding we are doing? If your dashboards are not connected to your on-prem and cloud devices, probably multi-cloud, that is nowadays a trend, then what kind of integration, what kind of security policy synchronization we are talking about? So that is where your dashboard is lowest common denominator, and you need something beyond the dashboard to achieve all of that. The real automation workflows. I don't know how many of you are aware about the workflows. We are talking about when we are talking about automation, generally it divides into two parts: the transactional level, which is the isolated automations, and then after workflows, which are far more valuable for the organizations. Something personal on network programmability now. Now, when you learn network programmability, you are not getting skilled onto one single dashboard. Cisco Meraki में मैंने महारत हासिल कर ली. I have very good experience, very rich experience in Cisco Meraki. One fine day, if you are working in service provider, one fine day, a team comes and says that there is an opportunity where you have to migrate from Cisco Meraki to Aruba Central. You are gone. I know Cisco Meraki very well. I don't know Aruba Central. Or even if you have experience, very rich experience, very good expertise with Cisco Meraki, somebody says that Cisco Meraki is coming, but you have to migrate from Juniper Mesh to Cisco Meraki. Gone. I cannot do anything because I don't know Juniper. I know just one part of it. And when we talk about those kind of skills, how much you can go deeper into one OEM. It is so massive. Every OEM is so massive. They are providing so many features to the organizations, so many options to the organizations that you cannot get an expert of even a single vendor. बहुत सारे लोग अरूबा या सिस्को में काम कर रहे होंगे, बहुत सालों से काम कर रहे होंगे. Tell me one person in this whole forum who can say that I know everything about this OEM. That doesn't happen. That's an unrealistic target for a human. Right? So what we gain by learning this, we learn something neutral. We learn something that talks to Juniper. We learn something that talks to Cisco. We learn something that talks to Aruba, that talks to Huawei, that talks to a device which is not even invented today, but will be invented. But there are certain protocols which are underneath, which are common for all of these. And if those protocols are respected, then we are learning something which can talk to any of that. That's network programmability. So here you are not learning a vendor specific skill, which is going to obsolete for sure today, tomorrow, or in very near future. You are learning something which is going to have its value increase day by day, especially with AI. Especially with AI coming, which is going to stay with us. It is not going, it is only moving forward. You are building this skill and you can move along with it. You can float along with it towards the newer heights. Okay, before we now further talk about artificial intelligence, although we have spoken about it, I would like to take some questions, some opinions, views on what we spoke about dashboard today. Guys, थक गया बोलते बोलते यार, तुम लोग भी बोलो.
So one question from my side.
Hmm.
So will this automation help us to troubleshoot the issues, or just like I would like to know means?
Yes, very much. And the beauty of the automation is that think wild. This is a term I use so often in my program, that if you won't think wild, then you are limiting yourself. Think wild means think beyond what you saw today, what you saw happened by automation. Let me give you an example, or let me give you a scenario. हम लोग क्या सीख रहे हैं यहाँ पे? one part of the learning that we have is a language. Which language? Programming language. Have you ever thought about the programming language? सबने सुना होगा, बहुत बार सुना होगा. But have you ever thought about that why it is called language? Why language?
Because language is a medium to communicate with each other. So we are communicating with the hardware devices.
Okay, that is one reason. Another? मैं बताता हूँ. We have, apart from programming language, there is another language in our world which is directly less related to programming or the technicality. That is the language we use in our daily life. English, Hindi, generally हम लोग use करते हैं, and there are so many languages in the world. Now, I was trying to emphasize on the word language. Language क्यों बोल रहे हैं इसे? Because it's a set of rules, it's a set of vocabulary, it is Look, I am not a scholar who can define the language on it, but I can understand it and I can make you understand at least my thought. So language is a thing जहां पर आप उसके basics सीखते हो and then you can create your own sentences. Just think about it, that how we started learning Hindi or English. हम लोगों ने अक्षर सीखे, उससे पहले लेटर सीखे, लेटर से हमने अक्षर बनाए, अक्षर से हमने सेंटेंस बनाए, सेंटेंस से हमने एसेज बनाए, फिर हमने पढ़ना सीखा, किताबों को पढ़ा, इधर पढ़ा उधर पढ़ा, एंड देन वन फाइन डे हैविंग दैट टाइनी लर्निंग स्टेप बाय स्टेप वी रीच टू द लेवल कि आज हम उस लैंग्वेज में लिखा हुआ कोई भी टेक्स्ट पढ़ सकते हैं, उसे समझ सकते हैं, and not just पढ़ सकते हैं, समझ सकते हैं, using those tiny things that we learned over the period of time. Now we can create our own sentences. Now we can write our own letters, our own essays, books, anything. So language की ये property है. अब वो चाहे English हो, हिंदी हो या Python. Now apply it here. Apply it here. When we are talking about Python, it's a language. What we want to do with it is up to us. बहुत लंबा आंसर दिया है उस क्वेश्चन का, बट आई ट्राई टू कवर अ लॉट ऑफ क्वेश्चंस व्हेन दिस क्वेश्चन वाज आस्क्ड कि क्या हम ट्रबल शूटिंग कर सकते हैं पाइथन से. So why I really stretched it, because I wanted to answer it holistically. हम कुछ भी कर सकते हैं. The point is we need to know how to do that. सो क्वेश्चन आता ही नहीं है कि हम ये कर सकते हैं या नहीं कर सकते, हम कुछ भी कर सकते हैं. सवाल अगर खड़ा है तो वो ये खड़ा है कि क्या हमें वो आता है. Somebody asked the question, can we do troubleshooting? Did I answer it well?
Yes, yes. Just need to know how we can use it.
Yes. So think about it कि अगर आपको एक किताब लिखनी है तो आपको ये आना चाहिए कि किताब कैसे लिखनी है. वो शायद आपको ना पता हो, वो सीखना है. बट क्या इंग्लिश लैंग्वेज से किताब लिखी जा सकती है, वो क्वेश्चन ही नहीं है. वो क्वेश्चन ही नहीं है. It's not in the equation. Same thing goes here. Okay.